Hey there, let's talk Star Wars spec. Let's start. Hey ladies and gents, your pal Rob here. Alright, so I got a few new books. Well, some not so new, but I think that Star Wars comics are as important as any other comics. People are going after the mutants, they're going after Kang, and a lot of people are going after the Star Wars books. But I would argue that Star Wars books are as important as anything else, Wolverine, X-Men, Avengers, or whatever. Because if I learned anything, well, the Star Wars comic book category, you have comic collectors and you have Star Wars fans. And for those who don't know, Star Wars fans are very, very passionate about their characters. So if I were you, I would be trying to collect some of the first appearances of Star Wars characters if you're into the spec community. Also great stories too. So let's see what I picked up. Alright, the first comic I have here is Kanan, The Last Padawan, #1. And for those who don't know, he is from the Star Wars Rebel series. It's on Disney Plus. It's an animated series. I know a lot of people probably haven't watched it, but if you haven't, you've done yourself a disservice. It's a really cool show. I recommend it. Anyway, there's a lot of first appearances. You have well, first appearance of Kanan Jarrus. He's the main character of the show, obviously, his name. Then there's Hera Syndulla. She is the captain of the ship, the Ghost, that they all ride on. There's Sabine Wren. She's a Mandalorian warrior. We're probably going to see her possibly in the Ahsoka series. Then there's Zeb. He's an interesting character too, kind of like the muscle of the ship. Then there's the cameo appearance of Ezra Bridger. Another character we're probably going to see. I think that in the Ahsoka series, they're going to be trying to find Ezra Bridger, the Padawan. And then we have Chopper, kind of like the R2-D2 of the series. Anyway, excellent book. Issue 6 is a lot of the characters' first full appearance and cover appearance too. That's a really good book also. Issue 10 is the first appearance of Fenn Rau, who's also in the series. He's a Mandalorian. And issue 12, which I showed in a previous video, is the first cameo appearance of the Grand Inquisitor. They are Dark Jedi who hunt Jedis, and they work with Darth Vader. I recommend that book too. And also the first appearance of Admiral Ray Sloan. So you see this book, and it's gotten kind of expensive recently. I think this is a variant. There's a couple. This is a variant. There's a 1 in, I think it's a 1 in 10. There's a 1 in 25. There's a second print variant that goes for a lot of money. It goes for about $200 plus. This book goes for about $50 to $80 or so, I guess, raw. And I believe the money book's going to be issue 6. I don't have that one yet. I'm going to get it soon. So if you see this book, great spec. If your comics need to be pressed, I recommend Basement Comics. I've used them for a long time. They've been around for years. They have a fast turnaround time. And if you do contact them, tell them Rob sent you. Alright, this next book I have here, Star Wars Jedi, Mace Windu #1. This book is awesome. This book is a really good spec. This book is not cheap. This book, I think it cost me 200 bucks. And no, it goes for, that's raw. I believe they go for 200 plus raw and a ton more 9.8. This is the first appearance of Asajj Ventress. Now, those who remember watching the Star Wars Clone Wars series, she is the apprentice to Count Dooku, and also she is also a Night Sister. We learn that later on. For those who haven't seen the Star Wars Clone Wars series, you gotta watch it, folks. It's a really good series. I know it's animated, but it's worth watching. There's a ton of cool characters. We're gonna see in live action soon. The rumor with this book is we're gonna see Ventress in the, according to what I've read or heard somewhere. We're gonna see her in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. So, good book to get. She's a really cool, kind of like just a dark character. And I couldn't recommend this book enough. This one is expensive, it's low print run, and just a really cool character, and also an excellent spec. And of course, if you're a Star Wars fan, you have to have this book right here. Star Wars #1, 1977. This has a lot of the major characters. Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, you have Princess Leia. I believe this is the first Obi-Wan Kenobi and Han Solo on cover only. It has Grand Moff Tarkin. We have, who else do we have here? The introduction of the Stormtroopers. This is it, folks. This book here is big boy. #2 has the first Chewbacca. I believe it has the first Obi-Wan Kenobi in story and Han Solo in story too. So that's good also. Make sure you get #2. But #1 is the big boy book. This one will run you in good condition, probably somewhere around, you know, $100 I think, in a raw. So this one's probably going to be in fine, very fine shape. It goes for, I'm guessing, around $250 or so, I think, this book. This book is the king daddy of most of the Star Wars books. It has most of the major first appearances. The book is an obvious star book. I really can't even call it a spec book. This is the book that most people have to have on their, obviously, their list of books to get. Hey, if you ever consider selling a comic collection, you might want to consider Infinity Comics. They'll buy collections large or small, and sometimes individual books. And if you do contact them, tell them your pal Rob sent you. Okay, now, we talk about this book right here being the Grail for Star Wars. There's another one. This book right here. This is a book that actually rivals this book as far as popularity goes, and price too. This is the Grail first Star Wars comic book. This is the Star Wars Clone Wars #1 book. This book, raw, goes for more than the Star Wars #1 from 1977. Okay, this is the first appearance of Ahsoka Tano and Captain Rex. For those who remember the Star Wars Clone Wars series, Ahsoka Tano is so popular nowadays, I would dare say she's probably as popular as Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. And for those who don't know, Ahsoka Tano was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. And she's a character who's getting her own show, by the way, too. We're going to see a number of other characters who are going to be in her show. We're probably going to see Darth Vader again. We're probably going to see Sabine Wren from the Star Wars Rebel series. So, I believe on her show, she's going to be searching out, trying to find Ezra Bridger, Kanan's Padawan. Yeah, this book here is Grail. It's not cheap. This one in good goes for $400. This one in 9.8, CGC 9.8 goes for about $4 grand. If you have a newsstand, whoo, it's not a cheap book. This is not a high print run book, so the newsstand's got to be a lot more expensive. And I know that there's also a variant that has a 1,000 print run that goes for, if you're looking like it, a couple grand raw, up to 10,000 plus and 9.8. And I think the newsstand in 9.8 goes for this book, goes for 10,000 plus too. So if you see this book and it's not too crazy, I'd get it. Hey, I hope you liked the video. I will see you soon.